Right, in this video I wanted to talk a little bit about medical device sales, my experience with it, and why it is one of the best career paths that you can have. So, just a little bit about me. I've been in the medical device sales space for probably about a little bit over a year now. It was definitely rocky in the beginning, just trying to figure out, how this worked, getting a new territory and whatnot. I did start out directly as a straight up territory manager with no sales experience, so I was fortunate in that regard to be able to do that. That's definitely not the norm, but I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my experience with it. If you can, go ahead, please hit that like button, and for doing so, here's a picture of a cute turtle. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was making the friends and the lifelong lasting relationships in this industry. These are people that you're going to be seeing, usually at least once a week, and, having a good time with them, being able to see them on a once a week basis, they sort of become, your friends and your family at that point. So that to me is very, very important. That's something that I didn't really get at most of my other jobs, but I do here. Along with saying that, you get to see the patients recover. That is a giant part to me because I was athletic training prior to this, so I do love helping out and giving care, patient-centric care. So with that being said, you get to do these things, see the patients recover, see them restore their normal lives, and, think that, you are a part of that, which that to me gives me, a great amount of joy, and it probably does the majority of you watching this as well. And another thing that I wanted to talk about was sometimes being able to be buddies with the surgeon. Sometimes, I don't want to say this is the norm, a lot of times that doesn't happen. They have a job to do and so do you, but there are certain surgeons that I am friends with at this point. It's very cool to be able to, have their numbers and text them all the time. And, some of these are like neurosurgeons or spine surgeons, so they're high in demand people. And to be able to call on them is actually really, really cool in my opinion, to get them to respond. That's just, I think, amazing. So spinning off that, I wanted to talk about the work-life balance. The work-life balance can be amazing in medical device sales. I pretty much make my own schedule for the time. I work a large amount of hours. I do get up at 4 a.m. and probably don't get home until 8 p.m., but that's a choice that I made because I want to be successful in what I'm doing and be able to give the most good patient care. Because I wanted to be able to give the best patient care possible. But for a lot of the time, if you're on a consistent schedule, that's not how you work, and your quota is still, you're still meeting and exceeding that quota, you can kind of do whatever you want in space. Another reason I have definitely made, reps, rep relationships with even competitive reps that, I'm just sort of even friends with at this point, people that I would just go out to eat with. So now me getting into this space more so now, I'm starting to develop relationships that are with people that are higher age than me, and it's actually really cool to be able to do that and call them friends now. Another very cool thing about medical device sales is a lot of times companies will pay for very cool trips. I've been to San Antonio, Texas, California, Florida, all those kinds of things. So, you'll get company trips. Sometimes you can take doctors and surgeons out, sometimes for a national sales meeting, that kind of thing, but they do, pay for those and, give you a good travel opportunity. Another thing for me is just the ability to give great service. That to me is very, very important, and I think in order to be a successful med sales rep, you do have to be able, you have to hold yourself to a high regard with, I have to give service to these people, and it has to be top notch, because you won't last very long unless you do, because, the surgeons want the top tier care for their patients, so if you're not giving it to them, they will definitely find another company that's going to do so and do that for them. And last, it's just because this is the most fun that I've ever had doing something like this. Most other jobs are normal 9 to 5s where I would just look at the clock and wait for it to be the time when I could go home. Now this is pretty much, my business essentially. I work for another company, but this is my business. Like, it's me running out here trying to get these doctors and holding myself to that standard. So that's why I think about this all the time. It's fun to have goals that I can set. The ceiling is pretty much yours with, how much service you can give and how many doctors will allow you to help out their patients. So that to me is very, very fun. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and check out the rest of my content that I have here. Be sure to leave a subscription down below if you're not so far. You won't regret it. And look at these two videos over here.